Welcome to the More Than ADHD podcast, episode 22. I'm Ryan Mayer, certified ADHD coach, neuroinclusion specialist, master facilitator, and most importantly, your ADHD accountability partner for navigating the storms that ADHD might bring into your life. Today's topic is body doubling, the most ADHD-friendly life hack and workplace strategy that you are not using enough. The goal of today's episode for me is to help all of our listeners, anyone who's interested in ADHD, especially business leaders, to understand how body doubling helps to improve focus, boost productivity, and support all employees, but particularly neurodivergent employees in today's modern workplace. If this is your first time tuning into the show, we are so glad that you're here. Please make sure that you subscribe. We can reach more people that way. And in fact, what you could do to help the most, if you're getting value from this, please leave a comment and just talk about what your thoughts were on the episode. Literally put anything in the comment, and that will help us to reach more people to help keep spreading the ripple effect of this inclusion revolution. So be sure to like, comment, subscribe, and share. Thank you. So you want to get more done without burning out your brain or depleting your team's energy or morale? Listen to the end to hear how body doubling can be exactly that solution for you. So for the individuals out there, have you ever noticed that strange phenomenon where you get more done just by being around other people? What's up with that? I get a lot of questions from human resources, business leaders. How can I get more productivity out of my employees? Make sure to listen to the end of this episode so you can find out a way that you can help boost the productivity for everyone in your organization, especially those who may be neurodivergent like me. And this is without adding another tool, any more meetings, or even any cost whatsoever. I really think we're going to learn a lot of new things together today on the episode. But speaking of learning about new things, I've actually had 3 conversations just today about people learning more and having breakthrough insights from getting their official ADHD diagnosis. And thanks to the help of our partners over at ADHD Online, they are doing that faster than has ever been possible in world history before. And that is not an exaggeration. Normally, you have to wait weeks, months, and in some places of the world, even years to be seen by an expert to get a diagnosis. Not anymore. With ADHD Online, in less than 24 hours, you can have a diagnosis from a qualified medical professional. So check out ADHDonline.com, and here's the discount code, Coach Ryan50 for $50 off. That's the biggest discount that anyone can give, $50 off of your assessment. So it goes from $180 to $130. Check them out. Okay, so body doubling, what is it? A lot of times if I ask at one of the presentations I give, I'll say, just by a show of hands, has anyone ever heard of body doubling before? And many times people will first think I'm talking about stunt doubles in movies, of which Tom Cruise does not use that. Have you heard that, by the way? Fun ADHD fact. Tom Cruise does not use body doubles very often at all. He normally does all of his own stunts. Way to go, Tom. So no, it's not in the movie business. What body doubling is working on a task when someone else is present. Now, this could be virtual or in person, but it's just working when you know somebody else is in your presence. It's not collaboration. It's not micromanaging where you're having to hover over and watch what they're doing. It's just literally being mutually present for each other. That's it. Simple yet powerful. So why does this work anyway? Well, there's a lot of reasons for it, but most people benefit from what experts refer to as light social accountability. It's basically positive peer pressure. For example, have you ever had to study for an exam and you've gone to the library and everyone else is getting ready for finals? So everyone's studying. So you just kind of think, all right, well, I guess I should be studying too. Same thing if you go to a coffee shop and people are being very productive. You look around, you're like, okay, they're being productive. I'll do that too. Well, it's the same idea. And to go a little deeper on the science, it comes down to what's known as mirror neurons. So we want to make sure that we are going along with the group. So we will mimic what we see around us. And in this case, we are leveraging that to be more accountable and productive. So here's the cool part for ADHD brains. Many times we need an external stimuli to activate our executive function. For those of us with ADHD, it triggers a really positive avalanche of a reaction because it's going to bring dopamine, motivation, and even reduce the overwhelm of the task. I know the biggest struggle for me and a lot of my clients is just that getting started, just needing a little nudge. And so this helps to overcome that challenge with task initiation that so many of us face. And it also helps us with follow through. I am living proof that this concept works. It turns out I've been an advocate for body doubling and I've been utilizing it since I was about 12 years old. Although for the first like 12 to 17 years or so of doing it, I had no clue what it was. I say 12 years old because I can specifically remember when I was sitting in my kitchen growing up, and whenever I wouldn't do the homework that I wanted to avoid, so I'm avoiding usually math homework, my mom would just have me sit at the kitchen table while she was doing stuff in the kitchen, and I would do my homework. And it was just this magical recipe for success. I want you to experience that same magic. This even works in the workplace. So why does this work professionally? Well, for anyone who's in people leadership, you know that there are certain people that might struggle to get things started or get distracted. Maybe they're too talkative or whatever. Well, this is a great, innovative, easy, cost-free way to just create this inclusive design. There's lots of benefits for it though. You're going to reduce procrastination and burnout, and it increases engagement. And that's another thing that business leaders have said they struggle with, employee engagement. Well, this works both on site or remote. And as a reminder, it works for everyone, not just those of us with ADHD. Are you getting excited to learn about it? Let's go. So I know that here in 2025, diversity, equity, inclusion, and belonging has sort of been taken a hit from the changes that are happening politically. But I just want to tell you that anyone who is looking to make their workplace more attractive, more inclusive, more supportive, this is such an easy strategy. So not only is it a win for inclusion, it's also going to help performance. So really there's no downside. Okay, so how do you implement it then professionally? It's as simple as embedding it in the culture. Just make it very normal. You can normalize this by just making it known on your instant messaging platform. Maybe it's Slack or Teams or Google Message or whatever. But you could just say, hey, is anybody free to focus on something together for the next 25 minutes or so? It's as simple as that. So if you're a leader, just show the example, model the behavior that you're looking for. Or if you don't want to be involved, just facilitate having Zoom or virtual meeting rooms created so that anybody who wants to get things done can just go to that Zoom room. So I know previously when I was in the corporate world, I would constantly be seeking out conference rooms. So I would literally rent a conference room just to get some peace and quiet and be able to focus. But then I got reprimanded for taking up too much conference room space. So the point here is you can do this for free by just having virtual rooms available for people to log into. Then they can wear noise canceling headphones like these Bose headphones I'm wearing now. And this is something that you can use as even a benefit for attracting employees, because you could say, hey, we're a really supportive environment. We're very inclusive. We want to prioritize the mental health and well-being and equip our employees to be successful. And so we do things like offering body double sessions. It's that simple. It's concepts like these that give me hope and inspire me to help to change the narrative for corporate leaders. Because I know one of the biggest struggles that I was up against is whenever I would request accommodations, requesting formal accommodations, please submit all your paperwork to HR. There's just a lot of steps. It's a lot of corporate red tape and bureaucracy. Let's just make it super simple. What if you just said, hey, for those of you who are out there who might just want to be more productive, maybe you identify as someone who's neurodivergent. And if you want to say like me, that would really help to make people feel seen, validated. We're going to be offering body double sessions every single week. And that could just be a very low pressure accommodation for all employees. You could even schedule focus hours, help people to crush through some of the admin like email or expense reports or something like that. Why not have a whole group of people get together, whether it's in person or virtually, and they can get the stuff done so that they can get back to what's actually important about their jobs. That's the part that's so frustrating. One of the many things is that I was actually good at the part of my job that was my job, but it was all of the follow-up and administrative and operational stuff in between that I wasn't good at. You can even, again, use this as a retention and recruitment tool. What if you were able to tell a new employee, hey, when you get hired, you're going to be partnered up with an accountability partner for the first 3 weeks that you're here. They're just going to be working alongside you, not to micromanage you, but just to be there for support. Think about how much more productive and supported new employees would feel. I always felt like, well, here you go. Good luck and figure it out. Like I was, on an island. I look around, everyone else is really busy getting stuff done. They know what they're doing. I had no clue. But if I would have had a mentor there who was actively sitting with me, I would have felt a lot better. And maybe my chances of survival would have gone up. Attention to all corporate leaders. We can also connect this to ROI. This isn't just a nice to have. This isn't a warm and fuzzy. This can be linked to the bottom line. So not only are you increasing the psychological safety, which, hi, I wish I would have had that, but you're also making it easier for employees to say yes, to stick around. Also, you don't have to invest as much of your time babysitting or micromanaging that employee if you're able to just create these environments where they can be more productive. And, especially here, post 2023-ish, post COVID, in this remote first culture that many organizations have gotten very lean and they're not doing a ton in the office. This helps people to feel connected. Speaking of connection, one of the things that I felt connected to for so long was the stigma surrounding being neurodivergent and having the diagnosis of ADHD, because I knew if I ever was to reveal that in the workplace, and in fact, every time I did, it was absolutely used against me. So I don't want you to be associated with that stigma. I'm going to do everything in my power to help you to no longer be defined by that stigma. And that's why ADHD Online is here to partner with you to break through those uncertainty. So please don't let the stigma define you anymore. Let our partners over at ADHD Online help you to live your best life after you finally can get the answers you're looking for with an ADHD diagnosis. So again, all you have to do is go to ADHDonline.com. We're going to have the link in the show notes, and you can use discount code at checkout. The link will be in the show notes, and at checkout of ADHDonline.com, use this discount right here, Coach Ryan 50 for $50 off your assessment. You owe it to yourself. Check it out at ADHDonline.com. Okay, so where do we get started? Well, for individuals, let me take you step by step, and I'll do the same for in the workplace too. So you can start by having somebody who works by you in your office, or a colleague who's on your team. You can just send them an instant message and say, hey, I'm looking to have some focused time. Would you like to team up on that? There are even tools out there so you can try silent sessions on a ton of different platforms. I'll run down a quick list of a few of them that I looked up before the episode. So I'm reading a few off of the list here. We've got Focus Mate, which is the first one that I found. It literally changed my life. For $5 a month, you can have unlimited meetings with people all around the world. So if you don't feel comfortable stepping forward, raising your hand, saying you need this help at work, you could do that. There's another thing called Cave Day, Deep Work, Flow Club, and then a couple of our favorites. We partner with the folks over at WorkSitter, so you can let them know. We'll actually have a link down in the show notes, but you can tell them that Coach Ryan sent you. They have virtual assistant services, but also body doubling services. So it's like a 2-for-1 bonus. And then just recently, if you join the Ryan Mayer Coaching digital community for free, if you want, you can also be added to on WhatsApp. We have a body doubling group that you can be added to, so that anytime you find yourself in need of some body doubling, all you have to do is pop into that group and say, hey, anybody available for a quick session? Or like last night, I had somebody from one of my clients jumped in there and said, hey, I'm going to be working late. Anyone available? And someone who was in a different time zone responded and said, yeah, I'm available for the next 2 hours. So again, the link is down in the show notes. If you're watching on YouTube, you can always just reach out to us and say you'd like to get some help with body doubling. And this is something that is totally free. We just want to help you to know you're not alone. Not anymore. And if you work remotely, you can also just go to a coffee shop. I had a client that part of his morning routine to stay accountable with me is he would send me pictures of the coffee that he bought from his favorite local coffee shop. That was like his sign, like, okay, it's game time. He's going to start his workday at the local coffee shop. So however is best for you, just try little tiny experiments and see what works best for you. And for leaders and teams out there in the corporate world, this could be something that you could start with a small group, do a pilot program. You can measure how effective is this? How many people are interested? How many people stay engaged? And then most importantly, because as you know, I like to say results get respect. What's the completion percentage? Is this increasing efficiency, productivity? And if so, you may be onto something. You could create a Slack channel or a Teams channel, and that's specifically for people who are looking for body doubling help. So what if you did this for Mental Health Awareness Month? Or you could just say for employee engagement purposes. That'd be kind of fun. You could also think about, like, let's say you're a sales manager. You could pair up members of your team to literally do, I do this with my clients all the time. We will both be on the call. We will go on mute and we'll just get things done. You'll be blown away by how much you can get completed. I'm so excited for you to try this, honestly. So I understand trying something new trying something different can feel a little bit strange or awkward. One of my favorite sayings is awkwardness only exists if you allow it to. And again, if you're in a position of leadership, and I mean, even if you're not, just normalize it, make it part of the culture, lead by example. For example, if this is a new initiative, what if you talked about it in onboarding? So you could just sort of indoctrinate the newest employees and just tell them, hey, this is part of it, and get a whole bunch of people on board and then build some momentum around it. And you could do it at team meetings as well. So maybe people are saying, well, I don't exactly know how to use this. Like, what are we using this for? You could tell them, try it for different things and see what works best. You can make sort of an opt-in. So let people try it, or maybe you help them by pairing them up with someone and then just see how it works for them. If you're afraid you'll get distracted, I hear you. Now, I have learned this over years of trial and error. I personally, Coach Ryan, am not able to do this with just one person, especially if I'm good friends with them. The person who speaks first loses the game for both of you. I just made that up, but basically, I know there's a few coaches, fellow ADHD coaches, that I would ask them, hey, you want to jump on an accountability session? But then what happens? Hey, how's your day? Hey, what are you working on? And then 30, 40, 50 minutes later, you haven't gotten anything done. So that sort of defeats the purpose. So if you feel like you're like me and you might get distracted, here's a couple ways to really lock in that focus. Set a timer. You've probably heard of the Pomodoro method. If you haven't, it simply means 25-minute sprints of all-out productivity where you are monotasking, not multitasking, but monotasking, but you work on one thing at a time. Then at the end of that 25 minutes, you get a break. So maybe you just take a bio break, or you have some structured scrolling and relaxing. Maybe you just talk with the other person for a few minutes, but the key is you have to put some bounds on it, especially for those of us with ADHD. So then when you get to the end of that, you say, all right, back to work, 25 minutes, let's go. That's the Pomodoro method. And you just do as many of those. I've heard it said on productivity podcasts, how many Pomodoros will it take? So how many 25-minute sprint sessions would it take for you to get this done? You might be wondering, this all sounds nice, but how do we make this a habit that actually sticks? Great question. Thank you for hypothetically asking. We'll start off by thinking about what are the things that you tend to avoid? What are the things you don't like doing? So for me, that'd be things like compiling receipts, checking my inbox, doing reporting, scheduling, some of the mundane tasks, or even some of the important but not urgent tasks. And then again, for any of you leaders out there, just model the behavior. Try it and then do an opt-in where, hey, if this works for you, great, but no pressure. And then lastly, to build a habit around it, make it consistent. So whether this is a small team, a tech startup, or a large organization, just have the space for people to work on that. So in other words, have it at the same time on the same day of the week, so that people just start getting used to it and becomes part of the routine. If you are listening to this podcast, the chances are you're a lifelong learner. So you can always learn new techniques. You can always learn new things about yourself. I was just talking to a woman in her 50s today, and she is so excited because she is going to be finding out once and for all if she actually has ADHD. She has seen a lot of my content on social media, and she said she relates with so much of it. So now she's decided to go check out ADHDonline.com to get an assessment. You could hear back from a qualified medical professional in less than 24 hours. It's wild. It still blows my mind to say these words, but in as little as 24 hours, you could have an ADHD diagnosis. Think of how liberating that would be. It would help you to explain so much. And in my opinion, age is nothing but a number. Really, you could learn more about how your brain works at any stage of life. So why not leverage the comprehensive assessments over at ADHD Online and find out once and for all, do you have ADHD or not? And one more time, that website is ADHDonline.com. And the discount code at checkout is Coach Ryan 50. Here it is right here, Coach Ryan 50. The mission of my coaching practice is to help my fellow ADHDers to not have to go through all of the pain and suffering I did, but more importantly, to take actionable steps towards the life they deserve to live, the happiness you deserve to have. And to do that, you have to take action. So let's recap and talk a little bit about what you can do, next steps for body doubling. First off, join our community. Again, there'll be a link down in the show notes. You can send us a message if it's too overwhelming, and we will help you get into the community. We'll get you into a body doubling group if you want, and you can try this for yourself. We have weekly productivity sprints that I would love to have you join. You can also check out our partners over at WorkSitter, worksitter.com, as in like a babysitter for work, worksitter.com. conqueryourADHDSystem.com. Let them know that Coach Ryan sent you. That'll be a huge help. They are amazing over there. And let me ask you this question. What do you have to lose? Why not try it? See if an accountability partner doing body doubling will help. And it honestly might just change your life. And again, for those business leaders or HR professionals out there, I'm happy to help you start a pilot program. And if you're hearing this and you think your organization would benefit, please share it with someone in HR or maybe someone on your DEI team. And I am happy to set up a call and see if I might be able to help. Because one of the things that I enjoy more than anything else is going out to organizations and helping to spread the word about this. There are simple solutions. And that's why I like to say on the corporate consulting side, I help you to see the invisible potential of your employees, but also the invisible resources like body doubling that are right in front of you, but you have no idea because you've just never heard about it. So I would invite you, schedule a call with me. And also in our show notes, we have free resources. I just want everyone to be able to have access to all the different resources that could help them. So we have a free productivity guide. Please check it out. Download that completely for free. And I look forward to serving you and helping you to navigate the storms that ADHD and other neurodivergent conditions might be causing in your home or work life. Before you leave today, again, just as a quick reminder, I do this for you. You are my why, and I want to reach more people with this inclusion revolution. So please comment on the episode. Tell us what you liked about it. Tell us what you want to hear about. Tell us what we could do better. And that's going to help us to reach more people. Subscribe and share it with every single person you know. No, but the more the merrier. And as you know, the reason why this show is called the More Than ADHD podcast is because I want to remind you, if you have ADHD, you are so much more than ADHD.